In the only building this franchise has ever known. We're at the home of the Texans. Welcome to NRG Stadium in Houston. Kaimi Fairbairn ready to get this one going. And off we go in Monday Night Prime Time. And this will be a touchback, so we're going to need our first snap to see the first action of this game. All right, let's get this show on the road. It is 1st and 10. Cooper going in motion right. Here's ETN to begin the drive. And he gets a few on the plunge forward.
I think one thing you learn, Kate, when you transition from college to the NFL, not every run is going to be a big play. Some of them, well, they're just destined to end in a minimal gain, and some of them will set up that critical play action for later.
An option give here to ETN. Runs into traffic and hits a wall. No gain. That stop coming from Henry To'o. Stuck to the ground, but nothing gained that time, and it brings up 3rd and 7. Now looking to throw. Complete beyond the marker. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. It's a 31-yard play. And that'll be good for a Jacksonville first down. Counter give to ETN. We'll have him gain about a handful there. Azeez Al-Shire that time on the tackle. Give him 5 on that carry, bringing up 2nd and 5.
The humble 5 to 6 yard gain on the ground. Not a huge gain, not a game-changing play by any means, but one that keeps you on schedule and takes some of the starch out of that front 7.
Halfway to the marker, it's 2nd and 5. ETN again. And they're on him after about a 2-yard gain. That's Sheldon Rankins in on the stop. He gets a couple, and it'll bring up 3rd down.
Okay, that's a run that's ho-hum on the stat sheet, but if you see a bigger play on the ground later on, it'll largely be because of a play just like that one, softening up the front and opening the door for a bigger gap in the future.
ETN on 3rd down. And he'll get it down to the 24-yard line. A 5-yard gain on the play. And that's a Jaguar first down.
I don't know what it is, Kate, but I love 3rd down runs. I really do. I know the receivers don't always like it because it's money down and they want the ball, but a 3rd down run for a first down can be so demoralizing to that defense.
Offense set for a 1st and 10. Hands it to the receiver here in motion. Oh, look at this sweep. Oh, he gets clobbered behind the line.
You know what that felt like to me, Kate? That felt like a little bit of overthinking, where he's just waiting for the perfect lane and the breakaway run. But against defenses in this league, you hesitate, you get tackled for a loss.
And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a first down. An excellent gain, 20 yards there, and that's going to move the sticks. This drive has been excellent. A few shots now. It's starting with 6 as they come up on it. 1st and goal. They'll run. ETN. And he's into the front for a gain of about 2.
Okay, all right. There's a little progress on 1st and goal. You keep it safe. You push a little closer. And now you're set up for what you want to do on 2nd down.
Ball at the 2 here for 2nd and goal. One of the tight ends in motion left. ETN has nothing on that run. They stand strong and stop him at the 2.
Well, now things get a little dicey for this offense. 1 down left before a big decision to make. You continue to try running it against a front that stopped you, or are you now forced to put the ball in the air?
From the gun on 3rd down. He had it for a moment, but a great defensive play to jar it loose. Incomplete. Well, no look on his first look of the game. And now it's decision time on 4th and goal. The Jaguars are going to call their first time out. And after using an early one, 2 left for him to spend. Cam Little getting the call on 4th down here to put 3 up for the Jaguars. It doesn't get much easier than this.
I never saw a play script that ended with a field goal. It was always a touchdown that you wanted. But that's 3 points, and it's enough to give them the lead.
On now is Cook to kick this away. Has this at the 6. He's got a lane up past the 30. 40. At the 20. He goes the distance. Touchdown, Houston. The Texans pull ahead 6-3 in the first. Well, when it's set up perfectly, Brock, and you get an exciting return man back there fielding it, wow, there are not many plays in football more exciting than taking a kick back for 6.
Find those blockers, follow those blockers, and then step on the gas. So simple for me to describe, yet so tough to execute on the field.
That one splits the uprights. And the Texans take a 4-point lead. What do you think, Brock? Can we get dueling kick return touchdowns, huh? Let's find out. The kick is away. From his own end zone, here we go. They stop him right as he gets up past the 15. They'll get this drive started. 1st and 10. They'll give this up the middle to ETN. And he found some running room for a nice gain. It's an 8-yard pickup, and they're going to have 2nd and 2 next. They go right back to ETN. Up the sideline, past the 40. And he gets it forward all the way to the 44. They pick up 20 yards there. And that'll be good for a Jacksonville 1st down.
You know, it is so refreshing for these running backs when they have space to run. It's hard. There's so many collisions between the tackles. When they get on the edge and have green grass, well, the best of them take advantage of it.
And he gets absolutely popped to end that one. Only gets a yard there to make it 2nd and 9. Changing things up. They're going to throw now. Connection made. Travis Etienne. And he'll cross the 50 and start pushing onto the opposing side of the field.
I call this quarterback's best friend. Some call it a safety valve. Some call it automatic. But it's sure nice as a quarterback when you got a trusty running back over the middle of the field that you can depend on.
That's the end of our first quarter. 3 more to go still on Monday night. Neither side separating much so far. We'll make our return to NRG Stadium after this. Back for the 2nd quarter. It's Jaguar football. They're looking at a borderline gimme 3rd down here. Inside handoff goes to ETN. And that short gain is enough for a new set of downs.
That is your old school meat and potatoes call right there. Don't even think about throwing it. Just rush it ahead and get what you need.
Throwing now on 1st down. Has him on the quick hitter. And they make the stop, we're going to say, at about the 37-yard line.
That is the epitome of staying on schedule. That kind of completion right there on 1st down. Well, it opens up the entirety of the playbook for 2nd down. And 3rd and short in your back pocket, and get even more aggressive and take that shot.
They pick up a yard. Still need 1 more, though. 3rd down coming up. Here's ETN. And he's brought down for a loss.
It's after plays like these, Kate, I love to study the body language. What is that offense doing after getting stuffed inside on a run like that? And more importantly, how much does it energize that defense?
Offense staying out there. It's 4th and 1. Now they'll throw out of the gun. He finds him beyond the marker. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains.
Oh, I love 4th downs. It just brings out the very best, and you get to see how you handle the most pressure, and it turns out well, they handled it pretty darn well, and now they'll keep pushing.
Here's ETN on 1st down. And he's able to manage a couple on that run.
You know, Kate, I like to call these body blows. Body blows. You got to be committed to running the football. Even if it doesn't move the chains, I guarantee you that wear and tear will pay dividends later.
Pass brought in by Amari Cooper. And they're going to take this in for the Jacksonville touchdown. The Jaguars take a 2nd quarter lead. Amari Cooper, the touchdown. Little able to connect on the point after. And the Jaguars push their lead to 3. On now is Cook to kick this away. Returning it from the 4. He stopped on the return at the 27. They're out and set, 1st and 10. Stroud in the air to start us off. Higgins makes the catch. And he'll get it out to the 34 before he's tracked down.
That's what you call efficiency. Exactly what you're looking for on 1st down. Textbook. It sets up 2nd and very manageable, and then creates that space if you want to take a shot downfield.
2nd and 3. Dumped off to his running back. And he'll get it up to the 44. Give him an even 10 yards on the play. And it sets up a Houston 1st.
I'm sure coach and play caller doesn't mind making the job a little bit easier. You know, play calling's a lot simpler and easier when you count on the offense to move the chains on those early downs.
1st down, Stroud. Saw that screen coming, and there for the interception. And forget the interception. He makes this a pick-6 touchdown. Wow, talk about aggressive coverage, Brock, to have somebody in position for a pick behind the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, this quarterback is never going to take that short pass for granted again. That is usually one you do in your sleep. He's just now going to be restless in his sleep thinking about it.
Well, Brock, hopefully some short memories on offense as they get it right back here on the kickoff after that pick-6. And that one bounces through the end zone for a touchback. First and 10 now from the 30. Fresh off the pick, here's Stroud. Won't make the play on that one. It hits the deck, incomplete. Looking for the back that time. And now it's 2nd down. Shotgun now for Stroud. That's going to be an incomplete pass on the throw to the right.
There's the importance of staying in phase as a defender. He was all over him in coverage, and that really did help force the incompletion.
Throwing on 3rd down, Stroud. It's another first half mistake. He's intercepted again. Devin Lloyd making the play.
Well, obviously not the cleanest game with now 2 interceptions, but here's the key. This is where mental toughness for a quarterback becomes so critical. And frankly, why some of the best QBs playing today have baseball in their background, because you flush your mistakes. Okay, you strike out, you throw an interception, but you got to go get it in that next series. Got to put these interceptions.
Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop it. All right, here we go. 2nd down. And wait, what's this? They fake the spike. And they aren't fooled by that fake spike. They kept charging and got there to take him down. And And the back-to-back sacks. Nice work by the defense there. Sets them up with a third down. We've hit the 2-minute warning now at NRG. The Jaguars looking for a score before halftime. Defense looking to defend the marker on third down. Back to throw. Taking a deep shot here. And they can't connect on the third down deep shot. Love the courage they had to try it. But it's incomplete, and now we've got fourth down.
You know, as a QB, I'm going to note that in the back of my head. That was a heck of a break. Knocks the ball away. DBs like that, they tend to, once they get one hand on the ball, have a pretty good beat on you and can get two hands on it the next time.
Punt team is on now, and they get this away. And he got a little too much leg into that one. That's a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity, no doubt. This ball's coming out to the 20. Offense ready to begin this drive. 1st and 10. Interception last drive doesn't deter them. They're going right back to the air. And that's good for a gain of 5. Devin Lloyd on the tackle.
Every once in a while, it's fine to be conservative on first down, especially when you get enough to stay on schedule and get a little something coming out of it, too.
Halfway to the marker. It's 2nd and 5. Operating from the gun, it's Stroud. Finding Collins. And he's brought down after a nice gain and a 1st down.
You know, Kate, you'll find teams go to this crossing route concept sometimes a dozen times a game. And a lot of times it's for shorter yardage, but sometimes things break in the right coverage for a much bigger impact play, just like that.
They're set up at the 35 now. Here's Stroud on 1st and 10. Got to him right as he threw it, and it falls to the ground.
You know, that was a play, Kate, right there where you need to buy your receivers just enough time to get open along their routes, and your quarterback enough time to find and hit him with the throw. Time, well, that's not what he had. O-line couldn't hold up, and it forces the incompletion.
No dice on that prior pass. Here's 2nd down. To the air yet again. It's Stroud. Dell with the grab. And he finds space for about a 3-yard gain. Stopped by Foye Oluokun.
It's not just imperative that a quarterback knows man or zone. Same thing for a receiver, especially on a drag route. When he sees zone coverage like that, just settle down, find the soft spot, and give your quarterback a chance.
And that's a win for the pass rush. Hit as he threw it, leads to the incompletion. 4th down coming up.
This is why we hear about closing speed so often when you evaluate players. You know, once he senses the pressure, he's getting rid of that ball. It takes a player who can close quickly to get to him before it's released and alter that throw.
3rd down pass didn't work, but the offense staying out there on 4th. They're going for this. He's on the move. Oh, he's going to run for it. One of their best play calls of this game, Brock. Nets him 17 yards on 4th down and gets them the 1st.
Well, I think he was looking for that running lane and that running room from the very start right there, partner. Even as he worked through his progression initially, he was waiting for space to open, and then he takes advantage with his legs.
Stroud throwing here on 1st. Flush down out to his left. And he's not quite that fast. Let him just a bit too much. That's incomplete.
Can't cover it much better than that. Really well covered, Kate, on that play. There just simply was not a window for him to sneak that throw in.
They send a man in motion. Stroud to throw again on 2nd. Has it downfield, working the left. And he's brought down at about that 27-yard line. All right, set now, 1st and 10. From the gun, Stroud. And that is incomplete. 8 seconds left now.
I think if you look up in phase in the defensive encyclopedia, that is a picture-perfect form of it. He was all over him in coverage, really forcing the incompletion.
Couldn't connect on first. It's second down. Lone back gets the handoff. And he's swallowed up by one of the big guys up front right at the line. All right, timeout taken by the offense. 5 seconds left, and they can take some points into the locker room on this final play of the half. Now it's Kaimi Fairbairn on to try it for the Texans. This will be a 44-yard look. Everly's kick is good. And that'll bring it back to within a score. The lead's 7.
A dependable kicker, man. That is a coach's best friend. Saves him so much stress to have a guy he can really trust to go out and hit it from that distance consistently. Because from that far out, no kick is a guarantee.
Well, Brock, barring the touchback, this kickoff should run out the half, so better make that return good as it's away. Here's a return from the 7. He's hauled down on what is the final play of our first half. That's halftime of this contest. We'll join both teams in taking a short break. More of the NFL on EA Sports in just a moment. Welcome back, everybody. Kate Scott, Brock Heward with you as we're about set to begin the third quarter. On now is Cook to kick this away. Fielded at the 7. And a decent return ends as they bring him down inside the 30. Drive starts out with a 1st and 10.
Here we go.
Here's the lone back on the handoff. And the push forward doesn't get beyond the line. Devin Lloyd on the tackle. Call it no gain on that run, and they face 2nd and 10.
Here we go.
Back-to-back carries here. And they'll bundle this up after a 4-yard gain. Stopped by Foye Oluokun. They get about 4 there. Need a little more than that now on 3rd and 6. Now it's Stroud. Short pass brought in. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. They get 20 yards out of the play and move the chains. Football on that 47-yard line, 1st down. Motioning the tight end now. Here's Stroud. Completed to his running back. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a 1st down. An excellent gain, 20 yards there, and that's going to move the sticks.
I love throwing on 1st down. And when you see a 1st down pass just like that, it's taking advantage of a matchup you planned for, and you go out and execute.
Here's a give up the middle. And he's swallowed up in the middle. No gain on the run. Stopped by Foye Oluokun. No gain there that time, and it's 2nd and 10. Throwing is Stroud. On the move, headed right. Oh, he lost the football. And the offense recovers. They can still advance it. They'll get 14 yards and a new set of downs. They're now set for 1st and 10. Working inside the red zone. Escapes the pocket. He's keeping it. And he'll get this inside the 10 to the 9.
You know, Kate, they always say that QB clock, you know what it's more like? It's more like an alarm, especially in a situation like that, and it's a good thing you woke up to it. Able to make something out of nothing and at least keep them moving forward.
Halfway to the marker. It's 2nd and 5. Looking to throw. Stroud. Oh, brother. It's another interception. Devin Lloyd making the play. And the Jaguars get the football as he makes his third interception of this season. There are costly interceptions, Brock, and then there are interceptions inside the red zone in the second half of a one-score game.
And if there is ever a time where ball security is paramount, it is right now.
Yeah.
They made a great play. Don't get me wrong. They deserve a ton of credit right there. But as a quarterback, you cannot risk a turnover. It's touchdown, it's check down, it's throw the ball away. You're literally throwing points away with that pick.
Almost a completion of the wrong team there. And we'll see what they do here on second down.
Defense doubled him, knowing that was where the pass was likely headed. A bit surprising. Quarterback still threw in that direction with how well that defense had that play covered.
Cooper going to motion over left. 2nd and 10, and they'll stick to the air. This will be caught by Cooper. And he'll have it up to about the 23-yard line on the play. They come through with a nice gain of 10 and a first down.
That's just great instincts. Go air it out on 2nd down rather than just play conservative and run it. They hit a weak point in the coverage and don't need to worry about 3rd down at all.
Here's ETN on the give. And his charge towards the line, that's right around 3 yards.
Got to be rush hour, Kate, because there's a whole lot of traffic up the middle right there. He ran right into some gridlock, and he could only manage a few yards at most.
2nd down now, 7 to go. This is ETN. And he's going to bring it up to the 40-yard line before he stopped. It's a pickup of 14 yards as the chains reset.
It was University of Wisconsin, Kate, the first time I heard this term, slow to explode through. And think how good that Badgers run game has been at the college level. Well, they made runs like that look easy. Slow to explode through.
New slated downs to approach here from the 40. 1st down, and they go right back to it. And he gets a few on the plunge forward.
You know, they got some positive yards. That's a good thing. But too many plays like that, it just is too hard to pile together, get first downs against the better defenses in this league.
2nd down now, 7 to go. On the run, it's ETN. And once again, he doesn't manage much before getting brought down. They got 2 yards there, and that leaves them with 3rd down and 5.
You know, not a ton of yards, but still showing that commitment to the ground game. The type of run that keeps the defense from loading up in coverage and focusing entirely on that passing game.
Has him on the quick hitter. And he stopped cold at the spot. Ooh, he paid for that one, but hey, still enough for that 1st down.
That's what we call situational football. You spend all week working on your nickel passing game package to take advantage of 3rd downs just like that.
And the receiver's going to take this one on the jet sweep. Oh, he drops a cut to the right sideline. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. Only 1 quarter remains in our final game of the week. That's the end of the 3rd. It's Jaguars football with a slight lead. Just got to hang on to it for 1 final quarter. They'll keep this drive moving and come to the line for 1st and 10. Man in motion here. From the gun, ETN gets it. And he won't salvage that. It's a loss on the play.
Well, he was supposed to be the one who chipped away a few and got a new set of downs started right in rhythm. Instead, he's now forced to pick himself from behind the line thanks to a great effort defensively.
Second and 13. Put the body on the line for his team. Touchdown, Jacksonville. So an absolutely beautiful throw there, finding his man in space who turns it into 6.
Yeah, they really took advantage there, Kate, of some soft coverage. You want that on that corner route. Plenty of space for that route to develop. Great execution, and it pays off with the touchdown.
On is Little for the extra point. Right down the middle, it's good. And the Jaguars double their lead to 14. On now is Cook to kick this away. Here's a return from the 7. This return makes it up to the 25. And the drive will start out with a 1st and 10. Stroud from the pistol. Well, the pressure nearly got to him, but still a good play defensively as that one falls incomplete.
Well, that's one you chalk up to the pressure earning that incompletion. They came in before he could find a target, hit him, altered that last-second attempt to get rid of it.
2nd and 10, Stroud to throw. Collins there to grab it. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a 1st down. Stroud. And this is going to end up incomplete. He really aired it out there on 1st down, but just couldn't make the connection.
Well covered on that play. Really not a large window for him to sneak that throw in.
So after the incompletion, here comes the 2nd down call. Motioning one of the tight ends. 2nd and 10 now. Fits it through the middle. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. And they've got themselves another 1st and 10. From the red zone now. And he will score. Touchdown, Houston! The Texans now within 1 score in the 4th. Nico Collins with the touchdown. Texans facing a big play as they go for 2. He's throwing for it! And the call to go for it not rewarded as the pass falls incomplete. All right, that lead cut down to 8 after that score, and the kick is away. Return coming from the 6. Coverage team gets him down at the 26-yard line. They'll get this drive started. 1st and 10. They'll come out throwing. Brought in right side. And he'll take it up to the 30 before being brought down.
Well, that's a pretty similar result to a 1st down run play. Moves it forward, keeps you on schedule, and makes 2nd and 3rd down a whole lot easier to manage.
On 2nd down, it's ETN. And he pushes forward, but they don't get much there. It's a pickup of 3. They're going to need 3 more now on 3rd down. Here's a throw. Complete beyond the marker. And that's good yardage with a new set of downs.
I know the Combine tries to test everything it possibly can physically, but I don't know how you test courage at the Combine because there's nobody defending you. Nobody wants to hit you. That was the epitome of courage to make that in cut and make the catch.
Just a gain of 1, and that brings up 2nd and 9.
Okay, this is why you got to be careful to just run it always on 1st down. You got to break your tendencies. The casual fan, well, that casual fan knew what was coming, but more importantly, this defensive front did too.
And once again, he doesn't manage much before getting brought down. Call it 1 yard there, so consecutive 1-yard runs brings up 3rd and 8. Looking to throw. Cut out left. And he's got a decent gain before being brought down.
You can earn your money in the NFL in all sorts of different ways, but defensively, In a league where you're just not hitting as much in training camp, you're not tackling as much as they got to in the old days, when you can make a play in the open field, keep them short like that, I promise you some money will follow.
He finds it. Oh, no, the ball is loose. And it's a turnover. The defense has it. And they limit the damage on the return, but it is still a turnover. Oh, this is tough. Don't let it be lost here that their call on fourth actually worked. They got the first down, and then they fumbled.
Kate, that's like saying the dinner looked so good before the waiter dropped the plate. The results were there as designed, but one mistake took it all away.
Oh, man. He was hoping to get it to Tank Dell there. And it sets up second down.
Oh, hey.
Shotgun now for Stroud. He'll dump this one off to his running back, complete. And he pushes this down to the 42 before going down. Big gain, 14 on the play. And the Texans are going to have a first down. Operating from the gun, it's Stroud. Escapes out to the left. That could be it, folks. It's intercepted. That's Jordan Lewis. And the Jaguars make the play that should win them this game. Well, okay, I guess we've got a couple of very giving teams today, Brock. One side coughs it up with a fumble. Then the other side graciously hands it right back with the interception.
Hey, listen, if you like playmaking defenses, then you like this game right here. These defenses, they're the ones supplying the big plays, and they're putting their stamp on this game.
And he's caught behind the line for a loss. Back to the line they go. It's second down. Wow, they're going to pass it here. Throw left side, complete. And that tackle stops him after a solid gain.
Time and again, receivers will tell their quarterbacks, just give me a chance. Just give me a chance. Just throw it up and give me the opportunity. Well, in this case, with even two defenders trying to cover that wide receiver, couldn't get it done.
Defender arrives right as the ball does, and the hit knocks it free. Incomplete. A quick 3 plays, Brock, and we have arrived at fourth down just like that as he comes through with some contact to break up what looked like a catch.
Now, guess what, Kate? These guys aren't getting paid by the down defensively. They want to get themselves off the field in as few snaps as possible, and there was no way they were letting this drive extend beyond a 3 and out.
They're out and set, 1st and 10. Setting up to pass. Finds a seam down the middle. And he's going to bring it up to the 40-yard line before he's stopped. The clock rolls as the Texans try to hurry their offense to the line. Here he is to throw. Trying to push it deep downfield. And they can't connect on the deep look. Still a couple of snaps to play with, though, here. We've got second down.
Well, that window was open down the field, but this league is so fast. And these defenders, well, they closed the gap before that throw could arrive.
Back to throw. And he doesn't see a window he likes, so he just got rid of that one. And then brings up third down. Now to throw. That's caught for the first. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. It's a 24-yard gash, and it gives them the first down. To the line for a new set of downs, only a lone timeout at their disposal. They connect on the deep shot. And he takes it in for the touchdown, down to their last breaths, and he gives them a shot now to force overtime. Texans facing a big play as they go for 2. He'll look to throw it. And they can't connect that time, and after the touchdown, unfortunately, can't finish off the 2 they needed to tie this game and force overtime. Down inside 30 seconds now, their hopes resting on finding a way to get this football. And the Jaguars recover the onside kick. That should all but clinch this victory for them. And he works this to the 15 before they make the stop.
No question they wanted the ball back late, but you don't see many of these recovered by the kicking team in the NFL. You see even fewer recovered when they're actually expecting it, like they certainly were right there. They could stop the clock now if they choose. In the final moments of the game, every second counts. If you're going to call a timeout, you want to be right next to that official to signal it in just as that knee goes down.
So the Jaguars, the visitors in this one, but they take home the win. And they can be proud of their exploits down the road and overall so far this season as they improve to 2-0. So for my partner Brock Heward and our entire crew, I'm Kate Scott saying this has been the NFL on EA Sports. So long, everybody. It's a win for the Jaguars as we'll see you next time from Houston.